Hello there, folks. We have a really foggy and grey day today, but no major rain though. It's actually a little bit warmer now, so maybe spring is on its way, but who knows. I promised that I will do a more regular vinyl CD update, and I will. So have some stuff to show from the last video, with exception from the one where I showed the free records. The last normal one I showed was in late November, so I have a little bit to show though. So I start with vinyl singles. This is Peter Brown, who were a kind of a disco act. He had a great disco track back in 1984 called "They Only Come Out at Night. They Only Come Out at Night." But this is not that song. This is from 1977, a song called "Fantasy Love Affair." Really, really great 70s disco. We have Shack Attack, a British jazz soul band, here with Al Jarreau, and a single called "Day by Day." It's from 1985, "Don't Push Me" at the B-side. Kirsty MacColl from 1985. I think this is a kind of a follow-up to her hit single "A New England." He's on the beach, and please don't go to sleep at the B-side. And here we have an interesting one, Swedish. Christer Björkman, who once were the president of the Swedish version of the Eurovision Song Contest called Melodifestivalen. Now he is the president, if I'm not wrong, he's the president of the American Song Contest. So this is before, he was a singer before. So this is from 1984. And it's pretty good actually. It's actually very, very smooth. CDs. This one I bought today, more Swedish. This is Papa D. He was a Swedish toaster, sometimes rapper. But this is Swedish dance music from a time when I thought it was a really great one, combined with a lot of house beats and so on. And this is one step ahead. Some really nice groove and dance beat. It's a song here called "Run Around Girl" that is really, really good. Randy Crawford, "Don't Say It's Over" from 93. I actually don't have this one, so really happy to put that in my Randy Crawford collection. Another record that I bought today, Swedish big band leader Tora Erling, Swedish jazz, released on Fantastic. Haha. And this is a compilation with songs that I didn't have actually. We're now into a really jazz, so now we'll be with jazz CDs for a while. We have Duke Ellington, "Uptown." When I saw this, I was a little bit hesitating, because I said that I'm very, very tired of those ordinary "Take the A Train," CGM Blues, Black and Tan Fantasy and so on. And "Take the A Train" is here in a vocal version. But I also collect suites, his suites. And here we have a Harlem suite. We also have a controversial suite. And I don't have the controversial suite. So I guess I have to make a sacrifice for this one. Miles Davis, "Milestones." Cannonball Adderley, John Coltrane, Red Garland, Paul Chambers, Phil Joe Jones. released on one of these CBS Jazz Masterpiece releases. Swedish jazz, but with a musician that many of you outside of Sweden might know, because he was one of the biggest Swedish jazz names in USA, that played with a lot of the biggest musicians. Rolf Eriksson. Here, this is was his final album before he passed away, and he plays here with Swedish musicians, some of the absolute greats. And this is a really, really great album with a lot of bebop style. Amazing, amazing. One of the best jazz albums of from the 90s or forward that I've heard, actually. So this is highly recommended. Rolf Eriksson and I Love You So. We have Natalie Cole and Still Unforgettable. I think this is the third album with her singing her father's, or should I say singing those jazz standards. This was in 2008. Here she doesn't only she's not only singing Nat King Cole songs here, but she still have duet with her father in Walking My Baby Back Home. Famous in Swedish as Sakta vi går genom stan. So I listened to this one. It's really relaxed and really cozy. Definitely stays in the collection. Chet Baker, Memory. This is a compilation filled with various stuff, both his singing, both with strings, both regular jazz standards. So this is a really mix of this and that. So really interesting. Swedish jazz again. Lars Gullin has also played with many of the biggest names. This is album with from one of my favorite labels, Dragon Records, and they have released numerous in the same series. This is volume 11, and I have some of this from the same series. We have this. This is looks like it could be an ordinary big band compilation, but it's not. Even though it says Woody Herman, Bing, Benny Goodman, Harry James, Jimmy Dorsey, and so on, because this is those big band names with small groups only. So this is a very, very interesting album, and it's also filled with names that I never heard of. Al Donahue Band and Del Simmons Band. Never heard of that. Johnny Dankworth Band, and so on, and some that I never knew did have a small. I didn't know that Charlie Barnett actually did the smaller bands also. So this is very, very interesting concept. Laserdisc Digital actually have released some really great stuff. We have 3 great box sets that I bought for only $2 each, and these box sets contains 5 CDs in each in them. This is Errol Garner. This is all are from the same series, Hall of Fame, released by Past Perfect Silverline. This is Errol Garner. We have there. We have 5 CDs and a booklet, 30-page booklet. The facts. So really, really interesting. We have one from the same series with Sarah Vaughan. Also 5 CDs and a booklet. And one with Ella Fitzgerald. also 5 CDs and a booklet. So these might be first candidates of best finding, first candidate for best finding 2024, because this was a really nice find. 2 CDs that aren't jazz, Chaka Khan and her first solo album. I really wanted to get a hold of this. I'm really happy that I got for only $1, so I'm very, very thankful for this. This is the one containing Every Woman, and a compilation with Andrew Gold that made the Golden Girls theme. He also made fantastic hits like Lonely Boy and Never Let Her Slip Away. Really nice 70s pop style. He was also part of the 80s band Wax together with Tennessee's Graham Goldman. So now we go to full length, and starting with some albums that I paid a little bit more for. Actually, I'm very happy for that. This one I bought today. Actually, this is Carole King, Touch the Sky from '79. Paid around $8 for this one. I'm only one album from having her complete from the 70s. I haven't made up my mind what to do with her 80s albums, because I had one 80s album by her before, and it wasn't as interesting actually. As much as I love the 80s, it sounded very wrong. But we'll see. At least this sounded very great from the small quick peeks I heard on YouTube before I bought it. And we have Best of CCS, Alexis Corner's band, and it is amazing horns, really amazing horns, and some really great versions of both his own songs and covers. I'll say it again, Whole Lotta Love is, in my opinion, much better than the Led Zeppelin version, but I guess I'm pretty much outnumbered of that opinion, but still, I love CCS. We have a Michael Jackson, Got to Be There. This is from 1971. It's one containing Ain't No Sunshine and Rockin' Robin and so on. Paid only $1 for this one. We have a couple of Brazilian albums. Not often I show that. I had on CD. It's become a little bit easier to find Brazilian music, but on vinyl, original ones, a little bit harder. Many of them that I find are the ones who are made with American musicians or foreign musicians, but really released in Brazil isn't all that easy. But this is Piano Verão, with a little reservation for the for my pronunciation. My Portuguese isn't all that good. Elis Regina, one of the most famous names, died way too young, and really great singer. So one of my favorite Brazilian singers, even though she sometimes releases songs that are maybe all that interesting. She is a fascinating artist and a fantastic voice. And this is a great album. Here we have an early one with João Gilberto, as in Elise and João Gilberto, Astrid and João Gilberto, sorry. Astrid and João Gilberto, that made albums with Stan Getz also. But this is João Gilberto on its own, in something called Chega de Saudade. Really relaxing, nice bossa nova album. We have a Swedish album I showed numerous times. One of my favorite troubadours, Cornelis Vreeswijk. I showed him in when I showed the free albums also previous. But here we have a double album called Felicia's Svenska Suite. Felicia's Swedish Suite. And this is a double album set. Originally it is released in 78, but this is a reissue that came out after his passing in 1987. So double album set, paid also only $1 for. A Partridge Family, greatest hits, at home with the greatest hits. This I paid, if I'm not wrong, only 10 cents for. We have Anne Murray, love songs. And Anne Murray, I like when she sings those more singer-songwriter style. Not that fond of when she sings just country music, because country music isn't all that interesting in most of it. There are exceptions there as in everything else. But Anne Murray, I like her voice. Really like her voice. She has a voice very close to Karen Carpenter and Carole King and so on. Very mature voice. So this sounded very, very interesting. And wrap things up with some jazz albums. This is interesting. This is Jazz Accordion, an album with a Norwegian accordion player, Arnstein Johansen. I never heard of him actually. One of the reasons why I bought it was jazz accordion, and I like the concept here because it says on the back, recorded at a night jam, home at Andrew Walter, who was another accordion player, Swedish one, the 31st of October 1971, at 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. They had a big accordion meetup, and some of them was gathered at home at the accordion player Andrew Walter, and they jammed all night, and Andrew Walter picked up recording equipment and recorded when this Norwegian guy was playing jamming jazz. It's not any kind of rhythm guys here, which I was hoping for. He plays jazz accordion solo, but it's very, very interesting album. So for now, this will stay, even though I was a little disappointed it wasn't any kind of rhythm. But it's very nice, accordion jazz jam in the middle of the night. I like the premises for this album. We have Milt Jackson, Bags the Opus, Benny Golson, Art Farmer, Connie Kay, Tommy Flanagan, Paul Chambers. Some nice, cool jazz. And I showed Uptown Duke Ellington. Here he comes again, because I managed to find Ellington 55. I have some EPs from this that I showed a couple of years back. Now I found the full length actually, and same 1 year after this one came out. So this is not a regular compilation. This is a studio album. Duke Ellington presents his orchestra featuring. I was thinking that it would sound. This is from 1956, so I was thinking that it might sound pretty ordinary Ellington, but I never learn. Time and again, I always fall for that thinking. Why I should be thinking that Ellington is unpredictable. So this is just relaxing ballads, jazz ballads, big band style. So a lot of Ellington actually. So that is what I have been finding for the past 3 months. So let's see what the spring gives. It started a little bit better this winter than I might have thought, even though it hasn't been raining exactly, but it's been an okay winter actually. So, until next time, I hope that every one of you have a really nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care and so long.